Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it's Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving, on Thursday. I know we've all been busy getting ready for the holiday, and yesterday I spent the day cooking. I don't bake very often because I'm not very good at it, but I thought I'd try it. So it was a busy day getting a couple little desserts together. I hope they taste okay. We didn't try them, so we'll have to wait and see. So this is my last Christmas class of the year. I probably will do some other Christmas cards, but this is a Christmas class. You can take these designs and recreate them for yourself and easily make 4 or 5 cards with my ideas. Or if you shop with me this week, I will send you the kits in the mail and you can make these cards for yourself. Even if you don't own the punch, you would just have to substitute different stamps. I pulled out a bunch of different stamp sentiments from lots of different kits for these cards. So $35, you get the kits for free. If you spend $50, then I'll throw in some bling, pearls, rhinestones, whatever. One of those will work. And you'll still get the kit to make the cards. So, how many of you got a lot of this paper during celebration? I did. So I thought at first I was going to use the reindeer because he's awfully cute. And then I decided, well, gosh, I have so much paper. We'll just use all the paper that we can. And I think I used everything except this one here for these cards. Let's see. Well, I did use the back of that one. So we're going to use as many of the different pieces as we can to make our cards. And they're nice and colorful, traditional red and greens, a little bit of black and white. Nice traditional cards. So let's get started. It's nice to see you here, Kay. Thanks for sharing. I always appreciate it when people share my videos. So I'm mostly using Perfectly Plaid. I'm using the Merry Christmas and the sentiment, but the punch, the tree punch that goes with this is something that will last forever. You can use this punch for many, many years to come. So most of these, well, all of these have the punch on them. So this is our first one. I used some of the designer series paper for backing, then my second layer, and then the third layer. And then I just randomly cut out some trees to decorate it. I realized when I was setting this up, the hard thing about doing 4 cards is my desk is covered with the little kits of paper and card bases, and it's kind of crazy. So you'll have to put up with me searching for things. So I decided, since I have this paper, why don't I use it? Because how many of us tend to hoard our designer series paper, and then at the end of the year, oh, I think this one's, I put away the wrong one, my goodness. At the end of the year, we have a bunch of paper left over. So we should be using it. Maybe this one was empty, so we'll put a new roll of tape in here. Because it does look like, yeah, it's totally empty. pop that in there. In case you didn't know, if you have old fast fuse cases, this tape will fit in a fast fuse holder. At least somebody told me that. I haven't tried it myself. We'll just have to trust them. This is 4 1/8 and 5 3/8. And then I believe this one's just 5 by 4. No, 3 3/4 by 4 7/8. It's a little bit different. You get a little more border that way. This is just such a simple layout, nothing elaborate. If you're a DSP hoarder, so am I, Kay, and it's awful. I should be ashamed. We could wallpaper 2 or 3 houses probably. Every once in a while I'll go through and create a stash to give to some teacher friends, because their classes can certainly use them for art projects. And teenagers really enjoy making those covered, what's that, the black and white notebooks, the zebra notebooks that you can cover with DSP. I don't know what those are called. But they're fun to do. So we'll just cut out some trees. Oh, I should have stamped before I did the, we're gonna trust that I can stamp carefully today. I'm gonna stamp Merry Christmas. I hope I left enough room. Ooh, just barely. Get a piece of scrap paper. Make sure I've got this fairly straight. It's bravery. But it worked. I don't recommend that. I recommend stamping first. But hey, when you're not paying attention. So now we'll add our little trees. This one's pretty quick and easy. We'll add some gold twine behind the tree. If we had scissors, let's see, here we go. So the first tree I just adhered straight on the card. You know, okay, I love simple cards. And that's, I think most people enjoy doing the quick and easy cards. If you have to spend 2 or 3 hours on a card, it's probably a little too much. Let's see how we're gonna put this behind our tree. I'll probably put it on with a little glue dot. Get out some of my paper pumpkins. just put that to hold it in place. Then our dimensionals will also keep it in place. I'll pull that down a little bit. I actually want that down a little bit. I hope it's not too late to reposition it. There we go. I think our tails are a little bit long. We can trim those down. And we need an inside, so we'll put another tree. On this one, if you wanted it to be this way, it gives the tree a little different look if you punch it at an angle as opposed to the straight up and down. I kind of like the angle myself. I'll use that one on the inside. And then we'll put a sentiment for the inside. I think we'll do this one. Hoping that your busy year comes together in Christmas cheer. I used black here, but I think I can use green on the inside. And it won't look too strange. I'm sure this, I shouldn't say I'm sure, I have a feeling this stamp set will retire this year because it came back from last year. But I will be sad to see it leave, because I have probably used this more than any Christmas stamp I own. Now, since this had gold thread on it, I thought that it needed the gold rhinestones instead of white. So we're going to use the champagne. I think that is close enough to get the correct color family going. I did a little grouping of all three sizes of bling. So that's our first card. Nice and simple. My middle name. We'll put that to the side. And let's do our second card. Here's our second card. This is a shadow. It's like a little shadow box. So I die cut this Stitch So Sweetly, and then we're going to need to punch it. I'll show you the trick that I used for that. Now, it's not very often you use black on a Christmas card, but these black trees, we needed that. So I went ahead and cut a piece of black to layer onto the card front. You know we have the best cardstock. It's better than what you could buy at a big box store. It's heavier weight, smoother. When you stamp on it, it really holds the ink well. Now we're ready to work on this. So I took just a piece of scrap and punched out a tree, and I'm going to use that to lightly mark where my punch needs to line up, and leave enough room for my sentiment over there. Then I can erase those. You could make a template with a Stitch So Sweetly piece, but this just worked for me, and it was pretty quick and easy. As I say that, I'm trying to find the dots. There. And then I look to make sure here is straight. Now you could save this to do an all-white Christmas card, Christmas tree card, if you wanted to. I think that would be pretty. I've seen where people just layer white die cuts on their cards, and that works just fine. So now we're going to use the same Merry Christmas, but it's black, so I need to clean it. So I can use the green. This is a nice bold Merry Christmas, and I like bold sentiments. This is garden green that I'm using. Certainly could use black on this, but it's got enough black with the background and the checked ribbon. This is a well-loved stamp, isn't it? You can see that I've used it a lot. We're going to put this on with the dimensionals. I'll put one here next to the tree just so it doesn't sag. After Thanksgiving, we will be on the last little downhill of Christmas cards. Then we're going to start on, did you know we have a new catalog coming out? And we'll be doing a few sneak peeks of that. Along with maybe another Crazy Crafter event where we show you how to make tags and bags and things with all your hoarded DSP. You want to make sure you use up as much of it as you can. And that way next year you'll be able to get new Christmas DSP. You'll just have to wait for the announcement about Crazy Crafters. It's nice to get a bow tied without having to ask for help. It's kind of crooked. We'll try that again. I don't think my ribbon is getting caught by the dot. Let's try a second dot to make sure it's nice and tight. I already vacuumed this morning. I might have to vacuum again all those little dots. Okay. There we go. See if I can get that tail to sneak out there. Doesn't want to peek out. That's okay, I guess. And now we can add a few rhinestones. I was going to put some on the tree, but they really didn't look quite right. So I just scattered them around on my white. Maybe you might be better at figuring out how to make them look better on the tree, but I just thought they looked kind of strange. Now we can put our sentiment on the inside. And we have another tree we can poke on there too. These are so quick, isn't it fun to do a quick card? And we can use the same sentiment. It's already inked up with green. Always afraid I don't have enough ink. And there's our second card. That bow came out prettier, but you don't get to choose, do you? Let's see. There, that looks a little better. All right, our second card. Now our third card is another fairly simple one. This one uses some of our bedazzled paper. I also ran this through the embossing machine with the evergreen trees and then just some borders. Now the trick here is you want to be able to have enough room for your sentiment. It's hard to stamp on something that's been embossed. So I just make sure that I've left enough room there, and even for my sentiment. Straighten it up a little bit, and we'll run that through the cut and emboss machine. And now I still have enough unembossed space up there that I can stamp. And we can go ahead and cut out our bedazzled paper. This is one of our layering circles. And we'll run that through. I loved this paper. I'm so glad I still have some, a little bit left. I certainly will be using it until it's gone. Little circle, and I used some of the designer series paper because I have it, and just thought, well, why I just need to be using it. So it's nice to look at that. Use up the paper we have. I went ahead and taped it down before I stamped it, but we'll see if I'm brave enough. We're going to stamp this in real red. With a smaller Merry Christmas sentiment. See how I need to. Yeah. Always like to check my straightness or crookedness, because I can be pretty crooked. We just have a strip to add to the side. Oh. Move that a little bit straighter. There we go. And then this is on with dimensionals. A little bit of layering here just to give it some dimension. For Thanksgiving, we're having the family over, and hopefully they'll bring some yummy food too, so I don't have to cook it all. I think I cooked a turkey last year. I really don't remember. I'll have to see if I remember how this year. I think last year we just don't want to remember anything. Well, we need a tree, and that is on the back of this paper. So if you really were kind of stingy with your paper, you could have cut the tree out of the back here and nobody would know. But I don't think I need to do that this time. And we'll go ahead and punch one for the inside. And this is also on with dimensionals, but I'm going to show you, sometimes when you're working with the glitter paper, the dimensionals stick, but maybe not as well as we would like. So I tend to use the dimensionals and a dab of glue. It gives a little extra adhesive, and I think it makes it stick better, because that glimmer paper is not very absorbent at all. And we'll put a few rhinestones on our tree, because it needs decorations. Guess we could put one little star up at the top. That would work. And for the inside, let's try a different one. Let's do Christmas cheer throughout the year. That looks like it already has red on it. Maybe I didn't clean it last night. Do you ever do that? I try to clean it before I go to bed, but sometimes I forget or I get tired. And then we can add our little plaid tree with the snowflakes. Hey, Laura Wiley. Nice to see you here today. So there's our, oh, there's one more thing I did on this one. You can't see it too well, but I did color the trees with Wink of Stella. So we're going to put a little bit of Wink of Stella on here. And the trees will look like they're covered with frost. I think it's almost time for a new wink. There we go. So 3 cards in 30 minutes. We've done pretty good. So there's our 3rd card. Now our 4th card, a little different. Not too much of a fancy fold, but a little. So just took a regular card, folded on the 5 1/2. I cut off 3 inches, and then I used the 3 inches here to make this piece. And then I did another die cut of the Stitch So Sweetly for the inside. So it worked out kind of cute. Still just uses 1 piece of paper. So we've got the tree paper here. And we'll go ahead and add that on there. I made a minor change when I was cutting this out. I'll show you in just a second. When I was cutting it for myself. On this one I used just real red, but again, if I have this paper, I'm going to use this paper. So I'm going to use some of the Designer Series paper also. We'll just give it a little more texture. We'll add this one here. You could use either side of the paper. There's no rules as to which. If you wanted the snowflakes to show, that would be fine. I guess you could also have it open that way, but then the trees would be upside down. But not if you were doing it, you wouldn't do that. So now we'll add this here. I think sometimes I kind of stay away from that side with the snowflakes. I think it's a little busy, but this is more subtle, so it can just kind of blend in there. Now we're going to put tape there. Let me mark that so I don't go beyond. You could put this on with dimensionals also. I was trying to keep it kind of flat. It works. And now we'll add our ribbon. This is just a little knot. It's not a bow. This time just a flat knot to decorate our front of our flap. Hey Sandy, it's good to see you here today. Thanks for posting that picture. That's funny. That you found that. You've been busy cleaning out the Sunday school room, huh? Now we're ready to do a little stamping. See if I have a piece of scrap white for my sentiment. So I'm just going to stamp Merry Christmas. We better see what color is on here. It's probably green. Yep, we better clean that off. You see how easy it would be to make these cards without owning the stamp set. You have a lot of Christmas sentiments, I'm sure. So you could just use the same, use the punch and the same layout and have your Christmas cards done. Now we'll use the Christmas cheer throughout the year. We're ready to put this together. We need a couple trees. We can do that pretty quick. I'll stamp punch or Merry Christmas. Could use a punch or the layering circle dies. Either one. And we need a green tree and a plaid tree. I think we need two. We need one of these for the inside. We can put that on with tape. You do need to kind of pay attention here. So your white sentiment piece doesn't peek out on you. There we go. Watch is making noise. And all of these are on with dimensionals. The circle, the trees. Just some little more layering on these than the others. I know we did have darker hair then. But you know, my hair was blonde and really blonde until I was about 30. And then all of a sudden it got dark. And now, all of a sudden, it's gotten gray. It's just not right. I'll go through different colors of hair. And of course we need some rhinestones on here again. That's what we have them for. Go ahead, that one over there. And if you wanted, you could put some on your tree also. Kind of up to you on that one. So we've gotten 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oops, same card. Let's see where I put these. 3. And 4. I'm telling you, my desk is such a mess. So here's our pretty traditional colors for our Christmas cards today. Now you can have this kit for free as long as you spend $35 or more in my shop between today and next Monday, I believe. So I hope you'll take advantage of that and get your last 4 Christmas cards in the mail if that makes you happy. It could be for next year. So thanks for joining me today. I probably won't come tomorrow night for Wacky Wednesday. We all need to be getting ready for Thanksgiving anyway. But I'll be back next Monday with Lunch and Learn. So I will talk to you later. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.